Hey guys, one of my two favorite baits in the spring is a Jackall Rerange, a suspending jerkbait. Really great jerkbait, casts a mile. You're gonna think you broke your rod when you cast it because the balancer cracks so hard in it, but it flies, and it flies very accurately. But anyway, the suspending jerkbait's been around for a long time. We all know it's good in the spring, and it's still good in the spring. It catches fish suspended, whether I'm using my Lowrance active target out there deep, if I'm fishing docks, this is exceptionally accurate for fishing real isolated cover like that in the spring. But it's a bait that'll sit there and hover in their face, and it's also a bait that you can work fast and get them to react as the water warms up a little bit. I throw both the 110 and the 110 MR, so I can show you the bill difference here. One's a little bit deeper diver, a little bit longer bill on it, so we can see that one there is going to dive a little bit deeper. You know, pretty basic colors, a lot of shad colors in the spring, a little bit dirtier water, that stained water. I like that, silver sides like that, a more solid color. As we get in more clear water situations, the transparent blue like this. And one that is actually really good around spots and smallmouth and even largemouth in clearer water, which you would think not to be in clearer water because of the chartreuse belly, but it seems to make it actually better in clearer water, the secret shad with that chartreuse belly. And a lot of times in the spring, the way I'm working this bait is I'm going to throw it out when it's colder, and a lot of times I'm just pulling the bait. It's really boring. They call it a jerk bait, but I'm just pulling it. And I literally sweep my rod and let it sit. Reel down, sweep your rod and let it sit. And day to day, it's a little bit different. Again, with the Lowrance active target, we can see how fish are reacting to it, but every day is a little bit different. If you don't have that, it's about experimenting. Because I've seen before, like every time you stop it, you get a bite. You sweep it, and just as soon as it stops, one bites it. I don't let it sit very long. But if it's every time I'm just can't take it anymore and want to pull the bait again, I'm probably not letting it sit long enough. So every day is a little bit different. And I like to fish these around points and channel swings, mostly really early. That's the primary time primary places rather, I like to throw them really early. As it gets later, we'll fish them more around isolated targets, docks, laydowns, and grass is kind of universal. It works good around grass all the time in the spring. Just the suspending bait like that there's no substitute for it in the spring. There's no bait that's going to sit neutral in the water column when those fish really want to feed up a lot. There's something about fish being cold. They're a lot more willing to come up and get something than they are to go down and get something if they're not on the bottom. So that suspending jerkbait mimics a dying shad. We've always heard that, but the reality is it works great in places that there's not even shad. So again, the Jackall Rerange, one of my favorite baits in the spring, a lot of the year, but definitely excels in the spring.